Hi friends, welcome to Debt, Budgets, and Grace. Today I'm planning out my bills for June, budgeting my bi-weekly paycheck, and cash stuffing a few categories. I'm still learning what works best for me financially, so this channel is really just a financial journal of me documenting the process in real time. Nothing super perfect over here, just learning as I go. One thing I've learned is that starting with a monthly calendar helps me see what's coming up for the month ahead, which makes it easier to create a plan instead of reacting to things as they come. When I can see everything in one place, I feel more prepared and a lot less overwhelmed. Next, I'm filling out my bill tracker. This is where I write down each bill along with its due date and amount due. I like having everything laid out here because it gives me a clearer picture of what each paycheck needs to accomplish. Once I can see all of my bills together, it becomes much easier to make a plan and feel confident about where my money is going. As I'm going through my setup, I noticed a couple of things that needed to be adjusted. I realized I had written down a payment for one of my Chase credit cards on my bill tracker, but forgot to add it to my monthly calendar. I also decided to rename another Chase payment to Amazon CC so that everything is easier to identify at a glance. Moments like this are a good reminder that budgeting doesn't have to be perfect on the first try. For me, it's more about paying attention, making adjustments when needed, and continuing to move forward. Next, I'm looking at my calendar to see where my paydays fall so I can decide which bills will be covered by each paycheck. Instead of looking at the entire month at once, This helps me focus on one paycheck at a time. For me, breaking things down into smaller pieces makes budgeting feel much more manageable. Now I'm breaking down which bills will be covered by this paycheck. Once I have all of my bills accounted for, I subtract that total from my paycheck amount. I also set aside 10% for debt repayment because I want every paycheck to contribute toward my debt-free goal. You'll notice a small change here as I'm double checking my numbers because my calculations weren't quite adding up. After reviewing everything, I realized I had originally included a Twitch subscription in my budget. My boyfriend and I recently decided to cancel our subscriptions to each other's channels so we can put that money toward our debt-free goals instead. It's a small amount, that's $6.48, but those small decisions can add up over time. Whatever is left over is what I have available for cash stuffing and other financial goals. This month, one of those goals is paying down my Apple Card balance. One thing I learned is that purchases can become due much sooner than I expected, so I'm making it a priority to get that balance paid off. For now, I'm prioritizing what I consider my non-negotiables: groceries, gas, and Damos, my dog fund. Once those are covered, any additional money will go toward that balance. The last thing I do before going to the bank is fill out my cash breakdown. Taking a few extra minutes to plan out the denominations I need helps make the cash stuffing process much more organized and intentional. Now I'm stuffing the categories that stay in my wallet. These are the expenses I tend to use most often throughout the month, like gas, groceries, personal spending, and miscellaneous purchases. Using cash for these categories helps me stay more aware of my spending and gives me a clear limit to work within. I also have a few receipts that I placed in my miscellaneous envelope from purchases that I made this week, so I'll be scanning those into Fetch before putting everything away. It's a small thing, but I like taking advantage of little opportunities to earn rewards when I can. Next, I'm updating each of my envelopes in both my priorities binder and sinking funds binder. This will help me better track deposits and withdrawals in each category, improve my budgeting, and hopefully help me notice spending patterns over time. As I'm finishing up my envelopes, I'm reminded that progress doesn't always look dramatic. Most of the time, it's small decisions, small deposits, and showing up consistently. It may not happen overnight, but every step forward counts. And that's it for today's budget session. Remember, progress doesn't have to be perfect. Small steps add up over time. Thank you for spending this time with me, and I'll see you in the next one.